Hello everybody, my name is Cyberwolf and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. Last time we beat the game we kind of beat the game twice. We got the confusion ending and we also got the main ending. But you might be wondering why I'm back here, and that is for a different ending. And that is exactly why this video is here, because we are going to explore the rest of the endings. Because in this game, you can have more than one ending and there are quite a bunch. So, last time I chose to turn the system off, but this time, we're going to disobey. Right at the final go, and boop.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Exactly.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh no!
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
Oh no!
detonators are set to explode.
Oh no!
The entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now
we have 2 minutes.
A little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
It is!
Your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much
What does this
better
5
than
do?
I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time
Nah.
left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about
Where did
you,
these go?
about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
I have no idea what this is.
You'd like to know where your co-workers
4?
A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You won't die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I just hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are
Here's the 3.
additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Alright, so...
What's the matter, Stanley?
What's
Is it
this?
that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save.
I've already tried the door.
What do you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Oh man, he sounds a lot more evil now.
Disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces.
I've already pressed that like 1,000 times now.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second
Oh, God.
of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Oh! Well, bam. Okay. And there you go. There's another ending. There's, like, so many more endings to this game. It's ridiculous. But we're going to get through every single one of them, hopefully, to try and actually get through it all. I'm going to go ahead and put up a image of the graphic that's basically how the game goes about to the different endings. So, now we've already taken care of one of them. Let's see. What is the next one? I have kind of like a list here of the different ones to do. And this one is quite easy and quite possibly even my favorite. I haven't actually seen any of these other endings. I haven't spoiled any of this for myself except for what the endings are called. And once I get to it, I'm going to read how to figure it out. But let's just go ahead and... There you go! Another ending down!
The pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh, well, that's not exactly how I expected that to go. I expected something to actually come up on the screen. But anyways, we have other endings too. The next one... Alright, now we're back to the next ending. This ending sounds like it could be kind of fun.
No, this isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What? Yeah? Alright, so I guess he has like a different dialogue every single time you load it up, which is kind of interesting.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors.
Going this way.
Door on his left.
Alright, so we're going to keep on going to the meeting hall.
Yet there was not a single person here.
And now you're going to go this way and...
Decided to go up to his boss's office.
Oh, hey, broom closet. Well, we're not to the broom closet yet. This is where I want to go.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is that a button? No, it's just a light.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh god, I have no feet!
Doors closed automatically behind him wherever he went.
I thought that was cool technology.
These rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Hey.
This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, He imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Ooh. Whoa.
He imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered Stanley. I found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Well,
Stanley began screaming.
I'm still here.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? She didn't, like, call an ambulance or anything? Wow, what a bitch. Okay. Well. Fine. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see what ending is next.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let to talk. This kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Alright, well, I think...
And rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I wasn't planning on having it start here, but I think now is a good time to, bring you guys back in. So anyways, this next ending has us, going through an area that I'm pretty sure you guys might have seen already. It isn't exactly that I saw it, but, you know, you guys might have saw it while I was not being so, careful to pay attention to things. And nope.
Mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, well, that's not good.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yeah, but it's a pretty long way, and...
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Fuck that, I'm walking backwards. Oh, God. What was that? What is that? What is that? Where did I just go? Okay. Well, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Ooh. Ow. Did I just break my legs?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Why do we have this?
Picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Really? That sucks. Hey, some boxes. Let's play with those instead. Okay, I can't do anything with those boxes. What is this? Oh, cool.
It would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Hey, how'd you know?
What did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings. What is this? Office layout. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Alright, so yeah, this is basically what this ending does. It basically gives you the it gives you insight into the development of this game, which is pretty cool. The pacing of the opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged an extension of it. An exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Alright, cool. What is this? Filing cabinets! Amazing. Alright. What do we got here? Office computers! Awesome! Database! Solitaire! And a screen too bright for me to see. And what is this? The office! I can't go in there. Or there. Nope. Okay. The button sounds. Wait, what was that say? A section of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Ooh, 5 sounds weird. Alright, so we got our credits there. If you guys want to go ahead and see those, blah, 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 there. Okay, let's go over here. The Office! More of The Office. Awesome! Alright, we got an old printer. Awesome. Maintenance room. Oh, good old maintenance room. Good times. What the fuck? These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, fewer endings. More narrators, fewer narrators. More Stanley, less Stanley. The Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was the clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? Large words. Alright. Oh, is that what? The fuck? I don't recognize this at all. Ooh, it's bright over there. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose of the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Aw, I think that would have sounded cool. Oh, cool, that's when they got greenlit. In September 2012, we submitted Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. Alright. Ooh, what's in here? A blank room? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional material, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a section of those emails. From James Irvine. Subject, how is the games? How is the game going? I hope it's as good for good, oh. Okay, well, you're gonna be doing that too quickly for me then. The Lounge. Alright. And we got more of The Office. Great show. Great show. The Apartment Timer. What? In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Huh. Cool. The Cargo Lift. I'm gonna stop reading these because as just save on time. If you guys actually want to read them, you can go ahead and I'll stop in front of each one so you guys can read it. A meeting room. Okay. This is yeah, there we go. You guys can go ahead and pause it and read if you want and all that fun stuff. Let's go see what's over here. What's this? Zending model. What? Zending levers? Okay. Zending. Early version of the game known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with other part of the game. Okay. The game is now paused. Okay. Good lord, there's a lot here. Wait. Okay, let's go this way.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Uh-huh.
Can you see? Can
Nope.
you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. Listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose.
Well, I'm not gonna just quit the game because that would not be, that would kind of ruin the recording. So, okay, well that's that one. So, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, maybe? Wait. Was she being serious that I could only actually go forward if I quit? Aw, man, that sucks. Alright, so let's begin again. And we'll move on to the next ending. Alright, so we're back for the next ending.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
That door does not have a number, which is weird, considering the place we are in. Alright, anyways, so let's keep on going. Now this one is a bit of a journey because for like the first time we're going to be going this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Right.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ah, good old employee lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
I don't know who you're talking about. Oh god.
Your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Who is it? Who what? Huh? Who is it?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Alright. It's a pretty
This is a very sad
small room.
story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Hi, baby. Alright. Good morning, employee 427. Press O on your keyboard. Well, if I don't want to press O. Fine, I'll press O. Oh, is that 0?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Can I move this chair?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began
What?
to fantasize about his own.
Where the fuck am I on TV go?
First, he imagined that one day,
I want to watch TV.
he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Hey, babe, can you tell me where our TV went? P.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
All right, let's prepare the dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy
Honey,
world, he began
what's happening to our world?
possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Let's tell the kids a story?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press 3 to tell your wife you love her. Honey, there's just one thing I need to tell you right now.
But there is no.
Honey!
How could there possibly be?
No! You turned into a desk!
He always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
I guess let's go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Just been disobeying him so far. Yeah, probably best to be at work in the morning.
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And
I guess I died. Well, that's depressing. Well. Whoa! Where the fuck? Huh?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So we're already at the two doors. That's cool.
Came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Alright, so I don't know which way to go now, and I think this video is all out of time. So I will continue along next time to explore the other endings. But until then, please like and favorite, please share with friends, and don't forget to subscribe and around. The Several Games signing off.